Hello my friends, Anna Alchemist of the Arts here. Welcome to my channel. Whether you are new or whether you are returning, it is wonderful to have you here. I wanted to do a reading for you today, which is really open, so I haven't chosen any oracle cards. It's going to be messages for the end of 2022. I'm just going to leave it open, see what wants to come through. I've chosen 3 crystals today, so choose whichever one you feel more drawn to. As a few notes, this is a collective reading, so please go with what you feel drawn to. Take the messages that resonate and leave the ones that don't. I do offer personal readings. They're available to purchase on my website and Etsy only. I will never DM you telling you I need to give you a reading or asking for money, so please don't engage with impersonators or imposters. All of my official links are in the description box below, and if you have any queries, feel free to email me. Today I'm going to be using this really special festive deck. This was bought and given to me by one of my patrons, Livia. It's absolutely wonderful, and I've been waiting to use this. It's very beautifully Christmassy themed. So I'm looking forward to using this deck. The piles today, the crystals today, are carnelian for pile number 1. Tourmalated quartz for number 2. And this is citrine for number 3. So take as long as you need. Pause the video if you need to, and the timestamps will be below, and I'll see you in your readings. Pile number 1, if you were drawn to the carnelian today, then this is your reading. As a reminder, this is a collective reading. Personal readings are available, and all of my links are in the description box below. Please be mindful of only using my official links. I will never DM you for readings or to ask for money. Please keep yourself safe from imposters. Sorry, this is a new deck and I'm a bit slippery. So we're going to be asking the messages for the end of 2022. So what does pile number 1 need to hear, please? This is really lovely. It's really interesting. We've got 2 tens out already. Just going to see if anything else wants to come out. And can we just have a clarification, please, for this 10 of swords? Thank you. Nice. Okay. So your messages for the end of 2022. It looks like, I've got to be honest, it's like a happy ending. I think you're going to have a time of a lot of joy and a sense of fulfillment, because you've got the first card out here was the 10 of Cups. You've got the 7 of Wands on the bottom. It came out, and the only card that flew out in the reverse is the 5 of Wands. Now, this can speak of conflict, and the fact that it's in the reverse and preceding this 10 of Swords is literally saying to me that, yes, there could have been some real difficult times this year. You could have had to have really pushed yourself to get through some very difficult situations. You might have had to have removed yourself from situations, and for some of you, it could have meant putting yourself in a different situation at this time of year, maybe with family, with the holidays, with things like that, than you would have been in before. But I see this working in your favor. It's like this sense of fulfillment, of joy, of celebration, and a realization that you didn't need whatever this drama was in order to be happy. It was part of, almost like, I don't want to diminish your relationships or experiences with these people, but it was almost like a background noise in your life of maybe drama, maybe upset, maybe conflict, maybe just negativity. It doesn't mean like it's like that all the time, but there's definitely this sense here of something being alleviated, that means there is more room for happiness, more room for enjoyment. And I feel like with the Seven of Wands, yeah, we've got the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck as well. It feels like something that you've worked for, you've worked towards, you've really focused on yourself and having this new emotional beginning this year of clearing away what no longer works, what has caused you difficulty, what has caused you challenges, what you've become aware of as patterns, what you've become aware of as things that you can perhaps mitigate your response to or remove yourself from situationally. You know, there's this feeling of you've taken matters into your own hands in a very empowered way. And this has really helped and supported you. And now, as we get to the end of the year, you're walking in with the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning. For those of you where there could have been a relationship that ended, I feel most definitely like, whether it's family or romantic, if it's sort of family or friend groups or just people you've had to walk away from, it feels like you're going to have a really beautiful experience that makes you realize that this was the right thing to do for you. You'll just know, you'll sense it, you'll feel it. And I'm being told to say, you know, it doesn't mean that it's forever, but for right now, you get a sense of empowerment and peace, emotional peace, from knowing that you listened to yourself, that you trusted yourself, and that you did this for yourself. And it does feel like there is going to be the sense of balance coming in with the Justice card and the Chariot. Things being righted, things coming forward, you know, people approaching you. If this is a lost love, I definitely feel like the end of 2022, you might not meet somebody new before the end of the year, but your recognition of this closing chapter as done almost opens a doorway for something new, for somebody new. And I think it's going to be a really beautiful and positive experience upon the other side of whatever it is that you've been through. I really, really love this. I feel like I'm making a few more cards. What else does pile 1 need to know for the end of 2022, please? No, I don't think they want anything else out. And that's interesting. So, let's see. We'll get some more oracle cards and we'll see what more messages come through for you. I literally think this has been such a big undertaking for you. It's been such a big challenge. This is a point in your life now where you can reflect, you know, reflect after this year, reflect upon your own growth in a positive way and look at the positive steps you have taken towards this Ten of Cups, towards this feeling of fulfillment, of enrichment, of feeling comfortable and safe and loved and enriched on your own terms, without the need for the drama or the chaos, without the disappointment, without being overlooked or left behind in some way. It's like if you were the person, and again, there's a message here for anybody who's a bit conscious or wary of love coming in, because you can, I don't know whether you can see the little elf on the top of this Ace of Cups with the bird swooping in. There could be some anxiety or concern about meeting new people or being able to trust them. But you are, I feel like this is where you recognize your growth. You recognize with Justice and the Chariot here where you've won the victories through these really hard situations, lessons learned, wisdom gained, and nobody can take that away. So whatever comes next in your next chapter, you're not going into it the same way as you did in your previous chapter. And yes, you might feel a little battered and bruised in some ways, but you were enriched from your experiences also, from your growth, from the recognition of your worth, and also claiming that Ace of Cups, claiming that emotional new beginning, claiming this ending, putting a stop to it yourself, and recognizing that this cycle is going to end now. Let's get one or two of these. Ooh. Okay, we've got Majestic Eminence, which is Priestess, Divine Feminine Worth, Empowerment, the Crown Portal, which is the Crown Chakra, and Manifestation. This is beautiful. By recognizing your own worth, the things that you want to experience, by putting in the boundaries that you've needed to put in with that Seven of Wands, what's on the bottom of the deck, by really owning and claiming your value and what it is you want, staying true to it. You might not see it in this moment, but what that's doing is shifting you into a more powerful creational energy, this divine feminine energy. And regardless of gender, everybody has sacred masculine and feminine energy within them. The expression of it, feminine energy, is more subtle. It's the mystical. It is the awakening the sacred within to allow for those manifestations to come in. And with this crown portal, it really feels like you've leveled up this year internally. You know, life maybe on the outside isn't where you want it to be yet. Maybe that's not reflected yet in your world, and you're looking at it and you know what you've been through. You know the growth that you've grown through, for want of a better word, and the challenges that you've overcome, the patterns that you've broken, the progress that you've made. You know that, and this is awareness of that. This recognition it's bringing you to this next elevation of self, this next chapter. Something is opening. You are opening with this feminine energy. You're feeling more empowered to make decisions within your life, to trust that things will work out. And you might not be feeling it like it right now, but it is going to completely change the way things manifest in your life, because you yourself have shifted. So, and this isn't about, you know, changing the things around you or trying to force anything to change. You have changed, and therefore what you're experiencing because of your vibrational change will change. So you'll experience different experiences, meet different types of people. And I think this is just the beginning. Like I said, this is like a brand new chapter for you. Let's get one of these for you as well. We've got a couple there, but that's okay. It's time to release negativity. Look at the bigger picture. Personal issues reach resolution. Absolutely. This releasing of the negativity, whoever it was, whatever it was, whether it was a work situation, a living situation, personal connections, family friendships, whatever it is, if you've become aware of people who are a negative influence in your life, or pull you down, or perhaps criticize you for your growth or for the way you've changed, and they're trying to make it out like a bad thing, I feel like you making this empowered decision to not subject yourself to that anymore is really going to help you. I think this is what reaches that conclusion. This is where the cycle shifts and breaks, because you're no longer forcing yourself just to endure this behavior for the sake of it. You don't need to. This is the recognition that you don't have to live that life or live that way anymore. The bigger picture coming in is this Ace of Cups. I think this is all about that self-recognition, the recognition of your worth and what this Ten of Cups means to you. You know, it's very well and good manifesting and saying, oh, I want my dream life, but sit down and really think about your values and what is valuable to you in that life. How does it look? How does it feel? Um, you know, how do you spend your days? Who would you spend them with? And start forming that bigger picture, because I know you've probably been through it through the course of this year, but you really are. It feels like as this year ends and a chapter closes, a new one is opening. And this is just going to be a really beautiful experience. This next chapter isn't going to be like any of the others that you've had, because in this one you've really found yourself. And we can find ourselves and lose ourselves 1,000 times over, but for right now, it feels like you've really come to a place where you know what you want, or you know what you don't want. And that is just as good in some ways. And you're standing up for yourself. We've got Earth Guardian and Mirror Guardian. That's really interesting. Because this deck is completely different, and there's not many of these cards in it. So you've got 2 Guardians. Stay rooted and grounded with the Earth Guardian, and Mirror Guardian, take time to reflect. I feel like this is, you know, with this bigger picture card here, take the time that you need to think about things, to process things, especially if you need to make decisions. And again, with this Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. You know, I feel like this is another recognition of you choosing to walk away from conflict, of you choosing not to just tolerate those patterns of behavior from others, or the relationships that you might have experienced, the types of people that were coming in. It is shifting, it is changing, and it's going to be different. I think that's the only way I can describe this energy I'm feeling. It's going to be different. It's not going to be like those chapters have started before. You've got a different resolve about you this time. There's just a different energy, because you've shifted through something on a fundamental level. And ultimately, it's just changed. Things have changed. I love that. Okay, I'm going to do some charms. These can be a little bit noisy. So if you're wearing headphones, you might want to take them off just for a moment. But I'll get just a few charms for you. Okay. I've got this lovely little jar. One of my daughters put in a message and it says, "Love you." And I always love the thought. This is like a container of love. We are containers of love, and we can choose to gift that to people. Just being that container of love is enough to share that frequency with others. Absolutely. This is about the pearls of wisdom that you have gained. Recognizing at the end of this year how much wisdom you've gained through probably difficult and challenging experiences with people, and potentially loss. But it has given you gifts, and it may not feel like it at the time, but ultimately they will enrich you. We've got this YOLO ring. This is a mood ring. YOLO being you only live once. Sorry, I had to really think about that for a second. you only live once. So, and that with the dice coming out as well, I feel like this year has been preparing you by letting go, because we've got 2 of the chains here. We've got the ball and chain and the chain. This year has been, and the bulldog clip, which obviously grips onto everything. And the boot. These boots are made for walking. This is you choosing to walk away from the things that have bound you, from the weight that has held you back, from the weight of the emotions from the past experiences, from the way they've made you feel, and choosing to live life in a different way from this point onwards. Choosing to live in a way that feels better for you, your 10 of Cups, and what that looks like for you. Not being reckless or hurting others, because we're coming from a place of love, but you're doing it for you now. And this really feels like just a brand new chapter that's going to be wonderful. And yeah, pile number two, pile number one, sorry. I really, really hope that the end of this year is kind to you and just brings you all of the good things that you want. So I'm going to wrap this reading up now and just thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, feel free to like, share, subscribe. I will see you in another one, and just take care. Lots of love. Either pile number two, if you were drawn to this pile, then this is your reading. You were drawn to the tourmalinated quartz today, which is beautiful clear quartz with these pieces of black tourmaline that form within it, and the crystal's growing. I love this one. Okay, first things first, this is a collective reading. I do offer personal readings, and all of my official information is in the description box below. If you would like to contact me or book a reading, it's only available on my website and Etsy. I will never contact you to ask for money or to tell you you need a reading, so please be mindful of scammers and impersonators. Second of all, which feels really important, I noticed as I paused the video and wrote down the number for the timestamp, the number was 2020. And I know this is messages for the end of 2022, but I'm getting this feeling like I don't want to preempt it too much because I wanted to leave these really open, but perhaps we are closing a much bigger chapter for you personally, a much longer period of time. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what comes through. I'm using my lovely Christmassy elf deck, which was a gift from one of my patrons, Livia. This is the first time I've used them for a reading, so they're a little bit, I'm just getting used to them. Okay, what does pile number two need to know, please? Yeah, I'm really feeling there could be some crossover between you and pile one. We'll see where it leads. Oh, yes, we like that. That is just an amazing Krampus, as the devil do. And it flew out in the reverse. Now, I need to clarify that devil in reverse, please. And I want to clarify this too. Of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like we've got a couple of different messages going on here. And the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This has been slow progress for you, I feel. And I don't want that to make you feel bad. It feels like you've been really working towards something for the last few years. You've been investing in yourself, becoming this King of Pentacles energy, regardless of, excuse me, regardless of gender. It's just that very grounded, confident, secure energy of just knowing all your ducks are in a row. Now, this could be spiritually. It could be in all aspects of your life, multiple aspects of your life where you felt like things were unbalanced before. There could have been relationships that were unbalanced. It could have been connections with other people, or just all circumstances. Yeah, we've got the Page of Pentacles here. I feel like this is a side message for somebody. The general collective message, you've been putting the work in, and it could have been slow progress for Temperance. And I'm not saying it will be slow. I'm feeling like up to this point, you've just been taking things at your pace, experiencing those inner shifts, maybe, you know, healing through some past blocks. It could be related to this situation, but it could be on a more genuine, a general level. And I said the word genuine then. So I feel like this has been about you meeting the more authentic versions of yourself, really discovering who you are and healing from the situations of the past that have held you back, or dropping those attachments to the. For some of you, I'm just getting this. The visual I'm getting, this might just be one of you for some of you, or it could be the collective energy of the reading. It's like you lived a life that you felt was expected of you for a long time, or for a time. You went through the motions, and there was a lot of pressure perhaps to appear in a certain way, to have, you know, the house, the cars, whatever it was. But something about it sapped your soul. It felt like it drained you. And you've been working on yourself. You've been remedying this yourself and healing within yourself. And it just feels like you've reached a point where I'm getting like a lot of stuff from the past just isn't going to bother you anymore. With the Devil coming up in the reverse like this, and the Queen of Swords coming out to clarify, and with the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, it feels like you're moving past these triggers, whether they're people or situations, behavior from others. It'll be different for all of you. It feels like they're not going to trigger you in the same way anymore. It's like you've hit a point with the Temperance and the Queen of Swords where you're just like, no, do you know what? This doesn't require my energy or my attention. This isn't worth me worrying about. It's not worth the anxiety. It's not worth the investment of my thought worrying about this. Or you'll just realize that things don't hit the same. If you're dealing with the same people and situations, I feel like you were letting go of how that would have triggered you in the past. And this is like a really good level up. It's a positive level up for you. It is a little bit similar to pile number one, but it's different at the same time. This side message here was we had this Two of Pentacles, and I just felt like I wanted to clarify it because it felt a bit out of place. It doesn't feel out of place because there is this sense overall of bringing things back into balance, bringing yourself back into balance. We have that mirrored between Temperance and the symbology of the two cards. Somebody could come forwards and offer you a gift. This doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be for some of you. I feel like somebody's going to come forwards, perhaps with a gift. And I think it leaves you with a decision that you have to make with the Two of Swords. Somebody could come back into your life with a gift. Because we've got the Six of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. This could be an apology. It could be a physical gift. Somebody could approach you with a physical gift. And I feel like you might be undecided about how to approach this. And if this is somebody from the past coming back into your life, you might be undecided because, yeah, you've got the High Priestess and the Knight of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You want to move forwards in life now in the ways which light you up, that excite you, that feel right for you, that you feel passionate about. You don't want to tolerate or put up with the same old as you did before. It's almost like you're saying there isn't a space for this. And I don't think you're doing it in a nasty way. I think the feeling I'm getting here is of peace, of an apology. This indecision is not about the apology itself or the gift in itself or the reconnection. That I feel like you're grateful for. If this person approaches you or if somebody approaches you. But this indecision is about whether or not you want that to become part of your life again. And this could be one of the things that you're healing. It's building that sense of trust within yourself to discern between these situations. And there is no perfection in this. You know, we all have, you know, our parts to play in situations, and you know, we learn something as we learn it. We heal something as we heal it. Doesn't mean it's never going to come up again. Doesn't mean we're never going to feel bothered or by it again. So there's a message here of, you know, just, I don't think these triggers, it really is. It's like something that would have bothered you really badly in the past, and it's just not going to get to you anymore. And this, at the end of this year, is like, especially because we had that reference to 2022. So that could have been a really pivotal year for you. A year where you decided to make some choices, or you made some choices, sorry, that push life in a new direction. And I feel like you're empowered because of those decisions. Like you've really grown through them. And this stuff, whatever it is, whether it's people, whether it's situations, it just doesn't trigger you the same way now. Same situations or same people, but you've grown, and it's not getting to you in the same way. Transformation, root portal, yeah, and the solar portal. So this is the solar plexus, the root chakra, and transformation. Yeah, this is absolutely about your personal power, about finding yourself, your self-identification, of being grounded and centered without, you know, it says here, balancing power, manipulation. We've got these references to balance here through Temperance and the Two of Pentacles. You have transformed yourself in ways now where you don't have to be stuck in fight or flight. You don't have to be stuck in survival mode. There is this, it's just, you have shifted yourself so that even if stuff happens, even if things that you don't want to happen, situations come up, circumstances come up, challenges or problems, they don't trigger you the same way. And this is really worth celebrating, because it's recognizing just how far you have come. And it does feel like it's been a longer process for you, rather than just this year. But this, I feel like the end of this year, maybe you're going to be seeing people that you've not seen since 2020. And there's anxiety here, and there's, you know, that fear or worry about how things will go. I feel like somebody's going to apologize or give you a gift of some kind. The gift could be the apology that really does bring peace to the situation and the end of a difficult cycle between you and a group of other people. Could very much be family, or just one family member or a romantic partner. Maybe you see them at a friend's party or a works event, something like that. And it does leave you with a sense of indecision. But you know now it doesn't trigger you the same way as it did. Because before you might have just been so triggered, you would have just gone along with something. Now you've got that capability to ground into yourself, to take your moment, to have your new emotional beginning. I really love this energy. Oh, okay. You're very close to achieving your goal. You are good enough. Don't let your past hold you back. This will be for some of you, not all of you. Do take it as it resonates for you and your situation, and always the person that's approaching you. This could be a love from the past that's returning. For some of you, it's like you've had distance and you've both changed. And this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be a friendship as well. You've had distance from each other and you have both grown. You have both changed. You will know if that's relevant to your situation. If this person approaches you, you'll see it in their behavior rather than just what they're saying. And this don't let your past hold you back is about the collective past. Moving on to a new future, a new sort of level of this relationship, that reparation between you both. Not letting the past hold you back in terms of letting the past be the past with this Ten of Swords. letting it end. Because you recognize your worth and your value now. And you don't have to subjugate yourself, your feelings or your emotions to keep somebody else happy. You know that your needs and your experiences matter. And I feel like you're in a position now where you can better verbalize and express your needs because you know them. This is how you've healed. This is where you've grown. This is where you've come to know yourself with this Queen of Swords and this transformation here, especially with the solar plexus chakra. You know yourself now at great depth in new ways. So when this person comes back, even though you might be undecided, you are not the same person. So it will not be the same relationship. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, especially with the Ace of Cups here. But I get the feeling this won't be for all of them. They won't necessarily be the same either. And for others of you, perhaps this isn't so person specific, but in recognizing the gifts from a past situation and returning back to the fact that you are good enough, that you can have the relationships, the life that you want, and believing in yourself. Just, it feels like really believing in yourself, trusting yourself. And that trust in self is really, really underrated. You know, trusting in our intuition and our gut feeling and our senses and our ability to make decisions. That's a huge learning process with our relationship to self. Water Guardian, connect with your emotions. Yeah, if you feel undecided with this Swords card here, this Two of Swords, really tune in to your emotions. What is from the past? What is being triggered? You know, I really strongly think you are not going to be triggered the same way. None of us are without triggers though. So if things come up, really tune into them and remember that you are not the person that was dealing with this person, this situation, or this experience a year ago, 2 years ago. So it's not going to be the same, and it doesn't have to be the same. Now I'm going to get some charms for you. These can be a little bit noisy when I do them, so if you're wearing headphones, it might be advisable just to take them off for a moment. Okay, we had the Kraken fly out. And it flew out and I was looking at it and it looked like a heart. Deep down in your heart, there is a truth. Number 2. There is a truth deep down in your heart that, yeah, there's a hidden, beautiful design on these buttons. And we have the OMG heart. There could very much be a hidden depth to your heart that you've been going through your process, you've been healing, but there's this sense of deep down, this person could have crushed you. I've got my little broken bell here. This person could have crushed you, and you could have literally been rebuilding yourself since. You could have very much have packed your bags and moved away. For some of you, there could be travel involved, and it could be overseas. But you've been healing from this situation with this person, and you are not the same person now. You have grown, you have changed. The same chains come out as in pile number 1 as well. You're letting go of the baggage. You've been letting go of the baggage of the person that you were, so that you can become the person that you are. There is definitely a hidden depth to your heart where, if this is romantic, it could be that even though you've healed and moved on, There's still love for this person. And it might be that you reconnect with them in some way. They apologize or something, and maybe it shocks you, but you're not going to be triggered the way that you were in the past. And I think that's the part at which you really realize how far you've come. Man has absolutely. The rune of self and mankind, put most simply. It's all been about you finding you. You had to find you. You had to find you and let go of the weight of the past yous that you thought you were, and the identifications that we had. And definitely, if there was that, like that message we had in the very beginning, if there was almost like a keeping up appearances way you felt you had to live life that maybe didn't feel like it was on your terms, I feel like you're moving away from that now. That's a screw. Well, that speaks for itself. I would be wary of that though. If what I'm getting with that, with the message is, if you were looking for something more with a person from the past, you know, it's, you do you. But if you know something is going to trigger you or make you feel vulnerable, like, look after yourself as a priority. And I say that, you know, we've got the Jack here, so the name Jack might be relevant to you, but also a kind of defensiveness, jumpiness maybe. I'm getting here, like, don't jump down people's throats. Like I said, I don't think that you were... I think the whole point of this process and the main message of this reading is that you won't be triggered by the same situations the same way now, you know? And don't let anything trigger you back to that old version of yourself. Don't let your past hold you back. You are not defined by it. You are a new person, a new incarnation of self, and you are absolutely allowed to live your life in your own way and to experience what it is that you want. Group 2, I'm going to leave this here for you. I hope this reading resonated with some of you. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. As I said before, personal readings are available via my official links below only. So please keep yourself safe from scammers, not just of me, but of lots of other people as well. And I will look forward to seeing you in another reading. Have a wonderful end to 2022 and sending you lots of love. Hi there, pile number 3. If you were drawn to the citrine today, then this is your reading. As a reminder, this is a collective reading, so take the messages that resonate and leave those that don't. I do offer personal readings. Those are available to purchase via my official links in the description box below. I will never DM you telling you need a reading or asking for money, so please only purchase things from me through my website or through my Etsy. With that in mind, let's get into your reading. I'm using this amazing Christmassy themed deck, which was a gift from one of my patrons. I'm really enjoying working with this. And we're going to be asking for your messages for the end of 2022. I'll just pass right into my please. Messages for group 3, please. Ooh. I'm going to take it because I saw it. It was a page, I think. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I'll get these arranged into some kind of order because it feels a little like we have different messages here. Okay. For some of you, you could most definitely need some time alone over the end of the year. Not in a negative way. I feel like you may need some time to think. You could have a decision to make, and it feels like quite an important decision. With the Page of Swords clarified by the Hierophant and the Devil, you could definitely feel split as to something that feels like a higher calling and something that you feel bound to. It's like there's two paths, and you want to move forward. You are ready for this new beginning. You're ready for a fresh start. You've got the energy there. You're ready to... I feel like the energy's coming in. Sorry, let me clarify that. At the moment, I feel like you're trying to reconcile yourself between these two decisions, between which decision you need to make, which direction to go. It's like, do I choose head or heart, past or future? Do I do what I've always done, or is it time for something new? With the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands, there could definitely be... It's the same energy. It's like defensiveness. Feeling stuck, feeling like you've got to keep going and keep trudging on and keep moving forwards. Things having been the same as they've been before, or doing the same things the same way. It feels a little monotonous, but that also feels like an obligatory energy. But it's also something that you've built, and there are gifts within it. It's not all bad. I don't know, with this, I keep getting a feeling like this is to do with work or career or life path in some way. For others of you, it could be more sort of family-based. But whatever's going on, you want to do right by everybody. This Justice card, it's got Mrs. Claus on it, and she's got her naughty and her nice list there. And I'm just really getting this decision that you really want to move forwards and have this fresh start, but there is this element of needing to thoroughly weigh up, perhaps strategize slightly with this Page of Swords, to weigh up the decisions, the pros and the cons on each side before moving forwards. Because it does, there's almost this sense of completely new. Something a bit more fantastical, something a bit more fueled by your passion, by your soul, by your creativity, by your self-expression in some way. But the phrase that just came into my head there was pipe dream. So it's almost like some of you might feel like it's a bit of a pipe dream. This Chariot and this full energy is there, and you really want to claim it, and you really want to go for this, to be this, to do this, to have this happen. But for some reason, there is a sense of attachment holding you back with this Nine of Wands and the Devil. The answer really does feel like taking some time with this Page of Swords and the Hermit to think for you. Sorry, it got cut off there because my phone rang. This is about you taking the time you need to make this decision. The Hermit, though things may look bleak, he holds this star within his lantern. The star is our wishes, our dreams, and our ambitions. And it just feels like you need some time to make this decision. Perhaps things slow down and you will have the time to make this decision now. Perhaps you need to give yourself a gift of some time to make this decision now. Let's get some of these for you. Ice Queen, absolutely. Introspection, self-analysis, fortitude, manifestation, Gaian Awakening. This Gaian Awakening speaks of relocation and ascension. Now, you could definitely be looking, this bigger picture dream, this commitment, this Hierophant energy with the Queen of Wands could definitely be looking at the new experiences that you want to bring into your life. It could mean travel, it could mean relocation. So this could explain that reticence. If you're leaving everything you've ever known behind you, it can feel very, very intense. And a little bit overwhelming at times. So the key message here really is to give yourself that time to make that decision, but to look within as well. It's not just about time, it's about looking within and really finding this truth within yourself and allowing it to become manifest. Adjustments are required, a new romantic cycle begins. That's interesting. So this could definitely be about new love. It could involve leaving something behind. It could mean relocating. Perhaps there's long distance, something here. It feels, this beginning of this new cycle though is a positive new awakening. It is a fresh start. It is a new beginning. Adjustments are needed, and I feel like this is this sort of compromise energy. That's the word. Perhaps looking at this in just black and white, yes, no, this or that. Perhaps there is a compromise that can be had here. That might be a really key thing for this reading. That sense of compromise, of finding that middle ground and balance between you. Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Traveller, move in a new direction. I'll be honest, with the Chariot, the Four, and this Traveller energy, and the relocation, it does feel like there is this sense of travel, of distance, of something opening up for you. It could be love, it could be work. You could really be looking at the ways in which you can move forwards in life. And that could mean physically moving or physically going somewhere else. And whilst that can be intimidating, it does feel like you're being called that way. And it's just like listening to your heart, really tuning in to this heart space. I'm going to do some charms for you. These can be a little bit noisy, so it might be worth just taking headphones off if you're wearing them just for a moment. Okay. We've got the empty park bench. Definitely take the time to think. And when you feel like the time is right, take action. You've got the star here again. This is absolutely about these wishes and dreams and this random lump of raw metal, which I just was really drawn to. And it speaks to me of these raw materials, of having the building blocks in place to begin to do things. Nothing starts out as its final formed piece, if that makes sense. You know, there is this transformation process involved. We've got the butterfly here. Definitely give yourself some grace and lightness too. I'm getting like, don't be chained to the weight of this decision. There are very, very few things in life that cannot be, I don't want to say undone, but say you did have to move away, or say you did move away and followed a dream, and say it didn't work out or you weren't happy, you can move back. There is always a way. Where there is a will, there is always a way. Luck is on your side here. It feels like you've got strength and resources as well with Mjolnir that you can call upon. And the protection of your ancestors and your guardians. You know, call upon them for help from the spiritual realms, from the higher dimensions. Call upon them for guidance and support. Because I feel like with Sorilo here, you'll be surprised there'll be some sort of sudden message. I'm getting sudden message or sudden communication, some kind of epiphany, something that is going to nudge you in a particular direction. It feels like it's really going to open something up for you. Possibilities. Yeah. Keep listening to that heart. It might be this one's a bit damaged now. You know, it could be a bit battered and bruised. You could feel like you're not allowed to make decisions. You could feel like you've got to hold on with the things that you've been doing just for the sake of it. And money could be a factor. But I'm really getting that, like, following your heart, taking this time, listening to your heart. that feels like it's going to be a really, really helpful tool for you through the end of this year. Pile number 3, I'm going to leave this here for you. I just wanted to say thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for your presence. As a reminder again, all of my personal information and my official links are in the description box below. I don't have any other accounts other than those listed, so please keep yourself safe from scammers and all kinds of other people out there. Sending you all my love, and I will speak to you again in another reading. Take care. Bye bye.